Hello, welcome to Crystal Clear Podcast. I'm Dr. Valerie Brown Ball, and I have a special guest today. And before I introduce her, I want to tell you the vision of this podcast, if you haven't been here before, is to make things crystal clear for you, either for yourself, for your community, or for your family. I want to supply you with resources and provide a platform for other people to give insight as to how they became crystal clear in the area that they are experts at. So today I have an expert. Her name is Ayanna Khan, and she has been so gracious to accept my invitation to be on Crystal Clear podcast. Ayanna Khan is the founder and president and CEO of the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce, which she launched in 2020. And when I think of 2020, I think of COVID. So she was busy during that COVID season. She had a vision to advance economic opportunity and equity for Black owned and minority businesses in Delaware. Under her leadership, DEBCC has rapidly grown its statewide impact and was named the National Black Chamber of Commerce 2023 Chamber of the Year. Wow, in just 3 years. Wow, wow, wow. Ayanna is also the founder of Khan Consulting LLC and brings a strong background in finance, business development, and community empowerment. And we just re-met. I don't say re-met, but we just reunited because we knew each other years ago, and I forgot that she owns Khan Consulting as well. So she's very busy. She's got a consulting company as well as the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce. So I'm so excited to have her here. She is passionate and about fostering generational wealth and building sustainable, thriving ecosystems for underserved entrepreneurs. Okay, well, welcome, Ayanna. I'm glad to have you here. And like I said, I met you a long time ago. When we met, we were at another Chamber of Commerce together. So while you were there, you were like trying to figure out how can I do this for our people? Okay. So why don't we start off with understanding the person? Everybody knows I'm the I am lady, so I want to know who you are as a person first and foremost. So who is Ayanna Khan?
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me on your podcast, Crystal Clear. I love the title, I love the name, and it's an honor to be here. So, who is Ayanna Khan? Ayanna Khan is a Black woman, first and foremost. Okay. I am secure and confident in my Black skin and my Black womanhood. I am a wife, I am a mother, I'm a leader. Um, I show up every day for others, and for myself and for generations to come, for my children. One which is of the Gen Z population and one of the Alpha generation. And I show up for them to show them what leadership in Black looks like and what legacy building looks like. And that's who I am in a nutshell.
Well, thank you for sharing. And you have a Gen Z and Alpha. I love those. I love those generations. They're going to help us save this world. I
Yes.
really believe. So it's awesome that they have a mother that's going to teach them leadership, and actually not just teaching, but setting an example as a role model. Okay, so let's jump right into it about how we can help Black-owned businesses as well as people who are not familiar with the opportunities and the resources that are out there for Black-owned businesses. So tell me a little bit about the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce.
The Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce, we're headquartered here in downtown Wilmington. We were established in 2020 in the height of the pandemic. July actually marked the 5th year anniversary for us being legally incorporated here in the state of Delaware. And our vision is pretty simple, pretty crystal clear, right? To serve the needs of the small business community intentionally and unapologetically for the Black business community and provide economic opportunity and support for them. The Black business community here in the state of Delaware has been overlooked for quite some time. So we're here to help the Delaware business landscape and these entrepreneurs forge a path with resources that's beneficial to their business through building relationships, partnerships, apprenticeships, all the things. and to ensure that these businesses are able to connect with the resources
Mhm.
that they need to assist them to grow their enterprise and create new economic opportunities.
Awesome. Now, as you're talking, I was thinking back. I was going back in my mind how we were office sharing at another chamber. And now you provide, I mean, you've grown so much in such a short period of time. And so I just want to talk about like you provide those services now to other people that we were using, in our business. So let's talk about, first of all, what do you offer to businesses like what we used to use?
So the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce provide lots of resources. Our purpose is to provide access to education, resources, opportunity for Delaware entrepreneurs. So some of the things that we do right off the bat in the pandemic was technical assistance, one-on-one support when Black entrepreneurs and business owners like myself didn't qualify or weren't misinformed and wasn't getting PPP and all these pandemic bailouts that were available, millions of dollars, right, in funding.
Mhm.
So we stepped in and provide the technical assistance. To this date since inception, we have injected millions of dollars. We're talking about over $6 million back into these businesses. Through technical assistance. Um, we assist with visibility and promotion, right? Because we know that on our platform, we can showcase our members. We have a really robust chamber directory, newsletter, and events that we share and help get media exposure for these businesses. We provide advocacy. Advocacy is big and representation is big. So we advocate for equity across the board in procurement, state contracts, policy, funding. We also advocate to help local and state governments amplify Black business voices, right? Because that is really a shortcoming in our community. We ensure that Black owned businesses have a seat at the table in economic development conversations because they're a vital part to our community. And we're talking about $1 trillion spending community
Mhm.
that we are. So
Mhm.
we need a seat at the table. We provide networking and community building events. We are averaging 98 events a year. So we're super busy
Wow.
with monthly events, supporting ecosystems for entrepreneurs, and encouraging partnerships between the DEBCC members and larger um, institutions. We do a lot of business and education training, a lot of educational webinars, business planning, marketing strategies, e-commerce, government contracting, and access to capital, which is a big one, which is a hot topic. Um,
Mhm.
we provide that. We've partnered with Del One Federal Credit Union, which is the state of Delaware's largest credit union, to create a loan program to answer that call for access to capital and financial resources. So we do partner with local banks. We connect through grants. We provide grant opportunities, a list of opportunities in our database, and so much more. So much more. We do a
Oh
lot.
my God. I'm like saying, when do y'all have time to do it? You must have a team helping you. I know you're not doing all that on your own.
Oh
But I
no.
mean, I'm like taking notes, I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So, okay. So you do a lot. You do a lot of the heavy lifting and you do a lot to provide access to capital and things, resources that people have needed for years, we as Black owned businesses. And so, you mentioned that about ecosystems. So can you give people an idea of what a thriving Black business ecosystem looks like?
I think a thriving Black business ecosystem looks like access to capital. It looks like, diverse funding opportunities and options through banks, credit unions, angel investors, grants, CDFIs. It looks like that. It looks like supportive infrastructure where there's affordable commercial spaces, reliable transportation, high-speed internet, which is kind of what we're doing here with our new headquarters and new facility with our incubator program. It looks like affordable co-working space, incubation, innovation, collaboration. Um, it looks like, helping businesses develop and reduce the unnecessary red tape and gatekeepers that we have in place, right? It looks
Mhm.
like networking and collaboration across all industries and sectors, referring businesses, providing mentorship, providing partnership, and just so much more. But those are some of the key aspects of a thriving business ecosystem here in the state of Delaware.
So you're actually contributing to and providing all of those resources to become a thriving, to help us become a thriving Black ecosystem. And so, yeah, I mean, wow. First of all, as I'm saying all these things you're doing, talk about your team. Talk about the team that you built. Because, most people say, well, I have a dream to do this and that. And it's like your dream grew like that, like fast and in a hurry. You know what I mean?
I think it grew so quickly in such a short space of time. Because, mind you, it started out with just myself and my assistant at the time. It was just the two
Hmm.
of us doing the job of many. And I think that it
Yes.
grew so fast because there was such a need and such a void in our community for this type of support, for this type of equity and inclusion, that folks gravitated towards it, making us the fastest growing in the country, right? Averaging over 100 new members a year. Last year we had 142 new members. This year we're at 50, so already, and we're halfway through the year. So my team, still small, still mighty. Myself, we have a membership person, we have an event person, we have our assistant, administrative assistant. We just bought on a new part-time incubators director specialist individual that will help grow this initiative. And we also have two summer interns this summer, one from the Newcastle County Youth Workforce Development and one from Light, which is one of our great valued members here at the chamber. And we have these two individuals until the end of August. So that's
Okay.
what the team looks like. Still
That's
small,
good.
still mighty. Mhm.
All right. Well, they're doing, tell them I said they're doing a great job. They're doing
Amazing
a great
job.
job. And okay, so, I got a whole list of questions, but I'm trying to, because yeah, we don't have a lot of time, but I just want to get, the good stuff out there. I really am excited about the chamber. Um, um, let's talk about the biggest challenges Black and minority entrepreneurs in Delaware face today. Now, when I'm thinking about this, I'm first of all, with the new administration, I'm thinking about how the DEI, it has been gone away, has been taken away, and some people are following in, some people aren't, some businesses and the government and all that. So that has to be a challenge for Black and minority owned businesses. So let's talk about that as well as what other challenges right now. I know you said access to capital and all that, but like what challenges is it? You might have access to capital, but you might have bad credit, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So talk about some of those challenges that Black businesses are facing right now.
I mean, there's so many challenges. There's so
Hmm.
many, so many. I mean,
Okay, the top three.
we talk about we talk about the networks that we have that
Hmm.
we're involved in, the resources. That's a major challenge because when we look at Black businesses, it's not because they don't have the passion or the grit, um but they're lacking these networks and having access to certain networks and financial resources.
Hmm.
You know, just having access, lack of access is a challenge
Okay.
across the board.
Hmm.
Lack of visibility, lack of the technical assistance, the support. Um, it's lacking in our community, and we're not always willing, to help each other, right? It's a lot of you know self-serving
Mhm,
situations happening, and
mhm,
we look down on this demographic of entrepreneurs, that us Black entrepreneurs are, we don't have what it takes, but we have what it takes. We have the innovation, we have the ideas, we have the viewpoints, but we need access to provide a greater impact,
mhm.
to build stronger communities. And I think that's um, all encompassing, just having that lack of access.
Okay. Well, thank God you're here because that's what because at least we're starting to build that access and open up those doors that we so rightfully deserve. You know, as I'm thinking back, you know who George Fraser is? Dr. George Fraser.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm one of those, I'm old school. I come back, I remember, Dr. George Fraser, I come up with some of the best minds about supporting Black-owned businesses. And we've been talking about this for years about how we should support, actually, before, the civil rights movement, when we were segregated, we supported each other more than we started to do, because I guess once everything was integrated, felt like, oh, we can go anywhere. But because of some of the DEI initiatives and things, I've been thinking more, or putting it as a priority to support Black businesses, because I'm like, well, shoot, if they can just kind of pull the rug from under us with DEI, or other companies are not respecting that, then I
Yeah.
need to really step up my game when it comes to supporting Black business. So first thing I do is look for a Black-owned business for the product that I'm looking for, and you make it easier because you have a database or whatever. And then also I do a Google search. I try to do that, or I try to find out resources. I ask around my network, people, do you know whatever? Because I had lunch with this young lady yesterday, and she said she didn't know there were any Black-owned business restaurants in Dover. And I said, well, this lady I know, she owns the Gray Fox Grill. She lives in Dover and she didn't even know about it. So we have to do more promotion. I mean, and
Aunt
the
Mary's
restaurant is good.
Kitchen, yeah.
Uh,
Aunt
yeah,
Mary's Kitchen, and
yeah, there's a lot. And so, so we need to, I guess, do a better job at marketing. I don't, do that. And I only resource that I remember was the Delaware Black, the Delaware Black online, or yeah. And are you guys associated with each other, or do you collaborate, or whatever? Delaware Black,
the Delaware Black, what's his name? Leonard.
Leonard, yeah, Young, Leonard
Leonard.
Young. Mm-hmm.
Young. Okay, yeah.
Young, yeah, Leonard
Yeah,
Young.
he's affiliated with the chamber for his other business ventures. Not per se Delaware Black, if that makes sense.
Okay,
So he
okay.
has other business ventures that's affiliated with the chamber.
Yeah, because I always remember him being like one of the only resources that was around. And now you're here. And I do know he has other businesses. So, um, we just need to, start to speak out and tell people, word of mouth is strong, powerful.
Yeah, so I mean, marketing, advertising is costly. It's another barrier
Mm-hmm,
when it comes to Black businesses.
mm-hmm,
It's another structural barrier in place. So we definitely assist with, visibility and promotion on our social media and our e-blast and newsletter, because
mm-hmm.
we get it. We also partner with other media channels like Delaware Business Times and local news and Reach Gospel Radio to create affordable advertising channels and vehicles for these businesses to advertise across the state, because we know visibility and promotion definitely is a structural barrier in our community.
Okay, so for our listeners, what can they do to help you and all the other businesses become more visible, or to?
It's free. It costs $0 and 0 cents to like, share, and provide, positive feedback,
Mm-hmm.
for Black businesses. Like you said, we have these boycotts that is going on where Target is boycotted, but we can go direct to the consumer, right? We have
Mm-hmm.
to eliminate the middleman that have these racial biases,
Mm-hmm.
and that are causing instability and poor management for our businesses, that's hurting our businesses. So go
Mm-hmm.
directly to the consumer when you need a product or when you need a service and eliminate the middleman.
Mm-hmm.
And go on social media and like and share those businesses. It costs nothing to do that. If you have some money available, definitely join the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce. We are a membership organization with affordable membership rates for anyone from a student to a home business to a large corporation to a retiree. So,
Mm-hmm.
join us, be part of the movement, and we can just be part of this community that's investing in excellence in our Black owned businesses and just in businesses in general.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. So you got that. That's your challenge. You start liking it. Doesn't cost anything. Word of mouth is the most powerful thing. And then, stop being so nitpicky about things, because if you go to another restaurant, like a white owned establishment, you're not as picky with them as you are sometimes with Black owned business. So just, give us a break, be supportive, just explain or talk to the owner or whatever if you have a problem or something happens, but don't blast it. Don't pull us down. Don't take us backwards. You know what I mean? Just,
Yeah.
talk to the owner or whatever. And then, but if you had a good experience, sometimes we don't tell people about our good experiences. We tell people about our bad experiences, but like she said, start to give reviews on purpose and give reviews and feedback on purpose, positive stuff to support our Black businesses. Okay, I got some rapid fire questions for you, girl.
No.
Uh-oh. Yeah, keep you on your feet. Let's see. Where am I rapid fire? Okay. These are my quick questions I give to my guests that, they have to think and be on their feet. So, one word to describe Black entrepreneurship. One word.
um Resiliency.
Why that word?
I think resiliency because we're doing so much with so little. We are building empires and creating just an um amazing communities with little to no resources. So we are the most resilient community ever to be able to do that with, the lack of support, and all these, other, things that they say about us, all the,
Mhm.
the negativity. So resiliency, I think for me is number one, and just, seeing the resilience in myself as well, being able to bounce back from so many challenges. So
Mhm.
resiliency is
Yeah.
one
And you make it look so easy. But I know it's not easy. You make it look so easy in your place. I'm looking at your office. You got beautiful. You got 10,000 square feet. You know, um, you're doing the darn thing. Let's put it that way. And let's talk about your business because you have a business as well, not just the nonprofit, but you have a consulting business.
Yeah, so my consulting business has been quite neglected. The chamber has consumed my life. So this year, I've only taken on one client this year thus far, and I think I'm to capacity with that one,
Mhm.
helping this one individual build up two nonprofits. So that was my capacity this year for clients.
Okay, awesome. But then you're bringing in other consultants that can help your other clients as they're building. Okay, awesome, awesome. And let me think of another quick question. Uh, what's the biggest myth about building generational wealth in the Black community? The biggest myth. Do you like that? Or tell me if you don't like that.
The biggest myth about building generational wealth, I think this is, I think there's like a scarcity kind of mindset
Mhm.
um
I agree.
in our community. I think there is more than enough. There
Hmm.
is more than enough room, space, money, like there's more than enough for us in every industry to collaborate and not compete and to help build wealth in our community. So, just think abundance, think wealth. So I think the myth that there's only room for a few
Yeah,
selected successful Black businesses, that's
yeah.
not a thing. There's room for
Hmm.
all of us.
You're right, and that is definitely a myth. Now, of course, this is crystal clear podcast, and so I always ask my guests, what is the crystal clear truth about leadership? Like, let's be crystal clear about what you've learned about leadership this year, and what's still missing. What's the truth about what leaders should know, business leaders.
The crystal clear truth about leadership, I'm gonna say about Black leadership.
Hmm.
I mean, Black leadership is not new.
Hmm.
It's just overlooked, underfunded, underestimated. I've been underestimated.
Hmm.
But we always lead. Um, True Black leaders for me, we're not about the titles, we're about the impact. We're here to make the impact. And I think that's the crystal clear truth. Like, we're navigating systems not built for us systemically from the beginning of time, right?
Hmm.
Systemic racial biases and barriers that were not built for us. And we are still building legacies. The Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce in 5 years um, has been a legacy structure here in the state of Delaware. And that
Hmm.
happened because of a vision, because of resiliency, because of heart, um, while just carrying the weight of representation for us, having chambers that we can go to that understand our challenges and our uniqueness. So I think that's a crystal clear truth for
Do
us.
you hear my music?
Yes.
Whose time is that?
Oh, wow. That was quick.
But I mean, this was a good. It went by just like that. It's such a good, rich conversation, and so in summary, I just want to thank you for joining us, and I want to give people how to. Well, you give them how to. How does one join the Black Chamber of Commerce, the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce, and how do they reach you?
It's pretty easy. You go to our website, www.debcc.org. And membership application takes less than 5 minutes. You can also get our contact information on our website, our email, and our phone number. We're one phone call or email away. So reach out to us. We're here, we're
Okay.
available to, and we're here to serve.
And you have home-based businesses, small, mid-sized businesses. And what if I'm just a consumer and I'm not a business owner? Do you have consumers that are
Um,
members?
Yeah, if you want to be a friend of the chamber, you
A
can be
friend
a
of the
friend of the
okay.
chamber. If you're a student, you can have a student membership.
Okay.
If you have extra time and capacity, come volunteer. We have a lot going on. So
Mhm.
yeah, reach out.
Yes, yes, and visit their website because you have lots of events going on. So you want to, be up to date on what's going on in Delaware.
Yes.
It's sponsored by the Black Chamber of Commerce. And I was thinking before I go is that years ago I used to work for AT&T, and I was in what they call an affinity marketing director. And I was on the National Black Chamber of Commerce board of directors. This was a long time, probably in the 90s. And are you affiliated with them? You are? Okay.
We are under the National Black Chamber of Commerce. So yes,
Oh,
um,
yay.
part of
So I,
part of the
I had
family.
yeah, I planted seeds in that thing years ago when, we provided, AT&T provided a lot of seed money to the National Chamber. So, yeah. So I would say I'm not promoting AT&T because they have their ups and good points and bad points. But I when I was there, I was like, wow, this is good. And I also they gave seed money to the National Council of Negro Women. I was on their board. I was on, yeah. So from a national perspective, but for you to be in the small wonder state and be voted, the Black Chamber of Commerce of the Year, that is an awesome, in 3 years, that is an awesome accomplishment. And I just want to take my hats off, give you your flowers while you're still alive.
Thank you. Thank you.
And just tell you you're doing a great job. So however I can help you, I will. And anybody that's listening, if you can help them, volunteer, support, find out how you can get involved.
And last really quick plug, our 5th annual gala, September 19th, Deerfield Country Club. You don't want to miss it. Get your tickets now.
Okay, I am. I'm going to get my ticket. And also, you were telling me that in August is National, could you explain it? Black Business Month.
Black Business Month, yes.
Okay.
We have an entire month dedicated to us.
Okay, good. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put this podcast on like the first week of August, just to let people know this is what we have to be aware of this month. Focus on supporting your Black business and your chamber.
Yes.
Well, namaste. I appreciate you being here today, Ayanna. And I just want to say to the audience, make sure you're crystal clear before you move forward and get insight. Go within. As you know, I always say, tap into the inner strength and power. And that's what we have to do as Black people, is tap into that inner power. That's how we've come so far. Like she said, we're resilient because we have the power, the spiritual power from within. So it's spirit, soul, and body. We may not have, people think, oh, we won't give them access to this, but somehow God gives us favor. He opens up doors for us by using people like Ayanna. So thank you, Ayanna. Thank you for listening today, and we'll see you next week. And make sure you're crystal clear on what you decide to do in your life. Love you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.